Did I think about what if I married rich
Yeah.
during those hard times? Probably. Like, wow, if I just married a really rich dude, this wouldn't be happening. But I'm like, damn, I am the really rich dude.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amaomi, aka Petite Diva, and in this video we are discussing Sarah Kim and Andrew Kim. Now, Sarah Kim is like a popular influencer, popular content creator, and Andrew is her husband. Now, Andrew is a pastor, and he has said some things on their podcast and in church that has got some people triggered. In this video, we're going to check out all that they've said on their podcast and in church that made people go, oh, something is going on. People's reaction to everything that they've been sharing, and then I'll come back to share my thoughts. Now, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are not subscribed and you like videos such as this, please consider subscribing by clicking on the red button that says subscribe, and don't forget to click on the bell notification icon by the side so that you're notified anytime I upload videos. Now, let's get into this video.
Goodness gracious. Today, as we start, I want to share with you something that I have been struggling with, and it's become a significant thing in my life. It's been really difficult. I have been trying to learn how to speak Korean, okay? And it's very hard. Okay, I was born in Illinois behind a cornfield. I wasn't raised around a bunch of Korean people. My Korean is terrible, okay? And I practice, but I suck, and it's kind of embarrassing. And what doesn't help is that there's this person who lives in my house, and she cackles every time I'm speaking in Korean. I'm trying my best, but she loves to laugh at me, and not just laugh at me, but point it out and be like, what did you just say? Can you say that again? Oh my gosh, you sound so stupid. Hold on. And she'll pull out her phone and she'll record it, right? So some of you have had the honor of seeing me humiliate myself on the internet, right? If you've seen any of my wife's videos, and she enjoys this process of pointing it out, and it can be difficult. It's cruel, right? What kind of cruel person does this? And that story has no resolution. I'm doomed. But it reminds me of a story of when I was really little, and my dad, he told me this just a few years ago. He told me that my first language, actually, when I was a baby, I couldn't speak any English. I could only speak Korean, right? It's so unfair, okay? And I could only speak Korean. And when I started going to kindergarten, I started going to preschool when I was about 4 years old. And he says, I remember the day you first came home from preschool and having learned English, one English word. And you came home from school and you said, Appa, I learned a new word today. I learned something in English. Oh, what'd you learn, Andrew? He said, I told you so. Okay? My first words in English to learn were, I told you so. And at first I was like, oh, that's hilarious. That's kind of cute, you know? But then you kind of sit on it a little bit and it's like, that's kind of weird. Like, why of all things, the first thing that I held on to learning in English wasn't like hello or goodbye.
Sarah will know everything anyway.
Yeah, and I was kind of like, I'm not making any money, so what?
Maybe I'm not really part of this conversation.
Yeah, well, I don't really have a place to say anything.
Yeah. But she was really firm. She goes, no, you guys are married. This is your finances, and you both need to be aware of what's going on and make decisions together. So a man is a provider of a home, you know, even though realistically I'll probably be making more money than you for the rest of our lives. But I never minded that.
I don't mind that either.
And I still need a financial provider or contributor. And it's like, how do I express that need to you without bringing guilt or shame along with it?
Yeah.
So then that was really hard for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And did I think about what if I married rich during those hard times? Probably. Yeah. Like, wow, if I just married a really rich dude, this wouldn't be happening. But I'm like, damn, I am the really rich dude.
She wasn't at the time, by the way.
No, not when you were.
Not when we got married and stuff.
No, I was getting paid pennies at PwC.
Yeah.
Hourly. But I would say because I was an accounting major, because money makes a lot of sense to me, and I believe that financial literacy is really important. I'm really passionate about it. Did I think about what if I married rich
Yeah.
during those hard times? Probably. Like, wow, if I just married a really rich dude, this wouldn't be happening. But I'm like, damn, I am the really rich dude. Obviously, money is a big topic, and money philosophy is very much real, where there is a huge spectrum. And I don't know if there is a right or wrong way to go about it. I think there's a lot of wisdom necessary. There's definitely a lot of stupid ways to manage finances in a marriage, but at least what we believe is that when we're married, that our finances also unite. And I have really close friends of mine who don't believe that, and I think that's totally fine. I have friends who are going into a relationship 50-50, and I think that's probably one of the most common ones that we see in like this new age of younger couples. Or it might be proportionate to how much the person brings in, I think, like income based. So like say one partner makes like 70% of the total income, then they pay 70% of the expenses. Of course, once mutually agreed upon. For us, it was like anything I bring in is all yours and everything you bring in is all mine. That's just what we agreed on.
Oh, I chose her because she's the perfect one, but she's the one, she's my chosen one because she's mine. And I don't need her to be the best. It's like people in their favorite car or their, like
Or
teddy bear.
Their pets.
Yeah, their pet. Like there's no perfect pet out there. But if you have a dog, you know what it means. Like, you're mine, right? There's no other dog I would rather have. I don't need you to be perfect. You're mine and I'm committed to you. And I think that's
take on this entire thing is that Asian Christian girls, it is okay being single a little bit longer versus dating and marrying that loser that they're pressuring you to like marry. I'm not a part of y'all, but I'm still rooting for y'all. I really want the best for y'all because I think y'all need to wake up, realize what they're doing to you, okay?
Was a decision that I made. I decided to say, Andrew
is not the one. Oh my god. Like, I'm literally crashing out wait. Over all the videos that are coming out, it's literally my blood is boiling watching all of these clips coming out because what do you mean he's like a decade older and you guys are married and he's just accepting that he's broke? Oh, I'm never gonna make more money than you, ha ha ha, I don't mind that, lol. What do you mean the first night after you got married, he is on his new PC playing video games? What? Like, in the same room as, and every time this man laughs in these podcast clips, it just pisses me off. What is so funny? Ha ha ha. No, go get a job. Stop wasting your time. Stop wasting this air that you're sharing with your wife and go get a job. Like, anyways, may this love never find me. Never.
She didn't say
I just
well.
want to remind everyone that Sarah is pregnant, like Kimchi Sarah and her husband, and the podcast clips circulating. Yeah, that's Sarah. She's pregnant. It is probably not helpful for the non-stop rain of negative comments that are happening in her comment section that are like, divorce babes or stand up girl. I get that a lot of these people are like trying to clock his teeth. Like, it's true. I'm not defending this man, but it can't be helpful for her mental well-being to be reading all of these comments. I know that technically she's been posting drafts, but there's no way that she doesn't know what's going on between, probably friends or family even checking in, because there's no way you see that these comment sections are happening and no one's talking about it. I just feel like it needs to be toned down, like the comment sections and the podcast clips circulating and everyone just piling on, because that's obviously the nature of the internet, is to pile on a hate train. I get that they were the ones that screened this and okayed the podcast to go out. I don't think that they thought of the repercussions that were going to come around of these comments and engagement. But even so, knowing that they were the ones that put this out there on their own, I don't think it's helpful to be commenting, leave this man, when that's clearly not her priority at this moment. The priority for her is having a healthy and happy baby. Look, whatever comes, but right now, just prioritizing and focusing on supporting her in this journey of like having a healthy pregnancy is the best that you can do if you're going to try, if you want to genuinely show care for her. And then, you know, we circle back to some of this stuff. But I just feel like it can't be a good headspace that she's in right now with her current comment section, because right now it was really a shit show there.
That's
Y'all know
not
that Korean
nice.
American couple that's all over TikTok right now? When their podcast started popping up on my For You page, I had the same thought as everyone else. You know, my first thought was, this dude is a scrub. His wife is pregnant. He's not really, you know, pulling his weight around the house, and it sounds like he just spends all day playing video games. But then I learned that he's a pastor. And then it all clicked, bro. It all clicked. If the Korean American church has no haters, bro, I'm dead. And I'm saying this as someone who was born and raised in it. I used to be in praise band. Those Hillsong chord progressions are still etched somewhere deep in my brain. But as a kid, I can say that I didn't really have a lot of positive male role models from the church. You know, I didn't have a lot of good, you know, big brother figures. I'm not trying to say that all these guys in church were like bad guys or even lazy guys, but I didn't really meet a lot of particularly high achieving individuals, if you know what I mean. There were a lot of dudes that you could rightfully describe as scrubs. Also, this is a total tangent, but I've always thought that a Euphoria type TV show about the underbelly of the Korean American church would be so good. Again, not everyone in the church is bad, but you know, I've seen my fair share of some nefarious shit in the Korean American church that not a lot of people like to talk about. That last part has nothing to do with the couple I was talking about, but I've always thought that a TV show about the Korean American church experience, the real Korean American church experience, would be super entertaining.
Sarah will know everything anyway.
Yeah, and I was kind of like, I'm not making any money.
I already made a video about this, but I'm going to make a second one, and I'm hoping that Sarah will see this one. Sarah, right now, Sarah, you are carrying the burden of this marriage. And when that baby comes, I can guarantee you are going to feel the weight even more. And it's going to start crushing you to the point where you feel like you will have nothing left of yourself.
I hope not.
The one thing I can say about babies when they come into a marriage at a time like in a situation like this is that it'll highlight how alone you are in a relationship. It does not fit. Babies don't fix anything. It will highlight how alone you are, and it make you wake up and think, oh my God, I am doing it all by myself. What is the point of being married? What is the point of you as a partner? The only way I will eat my fucking words is if I see Andrew get up and be a good stay-at-home parent and a house husband. Because ain't no way she's waking up early in the morning and you can't even wake up with her and make her a cup of tea, make her warm up some oatmeal for her. You can't do it. You can't drive her to work. Babes, you got married so young, Sarah. And as someone who got married when they were 24 and is currently divorcing, children only highlight the weaknesses in your marriage. And I can tell you that you're going to be shouldering this alone a lot, and it's not going to be easy. And I don't wish this upon you, but the fact that he can sit there and be okay with you making all the money and not being like, I am a man, I should be providing at least something. Yeah, I don't know if you're going to ever make more than her, but you could bring something in so that she's not shouldering all of the weight of the marriage and the finances and everything else. Like, it's insane. Like, Papa Kim is so good to your mom, Sarah. Come on.
Okay, really quick because I need a shower, but I wanted to throw my 2 cents out there. Guys, this is why people always say, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. Believe them to the T. Don't ignore the red flags. Don't push down the behaviors, the choices anyone makes in your life that you are not okay with. Because when you do that, you're not doing right by yourself. You will only be building up resentment that eventually is going to come out. And I think that this is what this was. Although in the form of a podcast with Sarah and her husband, which I'm going to be so honest with you, I do not know his name. I do not know. And I didn't watch full podcast. I just seen clips on TikTok like everyone else, and it's the way that Sarah was speaking so eloquently and mindful of the husband, saying how she's not sure how to bring up this conversation without bringing up shame and guilt. And I just want to say, bring shame and guilt back. Because some of these men, many of these men
need to be
and
shamed.
Korean men, you know what, let me not, because one, I'm not Korean, but anyways, because it's not really shame and guilt, it's accountability. Yeah, accountability. You are trying to hold your partner accountable to putting an effort into your marriage.
If you ask me, there are two takeaways from the Sarah, Kim, and Andrew, I don't know his last name, situation. The oversharing that they're doing on their podcast about their financial philosophies and their marriage dynamic. And the first thing is that you should discuss this stuff before you get married. And you should take each other's answers very seriously and discuss how you can bridge the gap if there happens to be a gap, because finances happen to be one of the main reasons that people get divorced in this country. And it is a very tricky thing, and our philosophies around money gets wrapped up in our self-esteem, our perception of life, and our values and our moral judgments of each other. You know, there is this idea that people who are poor are worse than people who are wealthy, or people who are wealthy are better than people who are poor, as an example. The second thing that you need to take away from the situation is that even if you aren't making money, even if you aren't the breadwinner, such as is the case with Andrew in this situation, you can still contribute even if it isn't financially. You can contribute by cooking, you can contribute by cleaning, you can contribute by planning out trips and events and special occasions, and just things that will ease a burden on your partner who happens to be the breadwinner. And this is a case whether it's a woman who is the breadwinner or a man who happens to be the breadwinner. So I don't mean to dogpile. That's their marriage. It's whatever works for them, and our perception is not what matters. I hope that they are both well, and that, congratulations on the baby, and things go well with the birth and the labor and the raising of it and everything else. But I do think this is an opportunity for people who are watching, fans of theirs who are watching, consuming the content, to turn back to their partner if they are in a relationship, and to have those discussions before they decide to invest their lives with that person or commit to that person. Don't find yourself in a situation where you could have easily avoided it with a conversation or a couple of questions.
I do think that what Sarah is doing is very intentional, and I got the feeling, I had the same thought when he shared his story about how, he didn't buy her a wedding ring, but he bought a PC and stayed up till 7 a.m. the first night that they moved in together. That to me was very clear, and you can kind of see it in her eyes, where she's like, okay, he's bringing up the things that I want the general public to know and hear. But she looks sad because he just has this unawareness where he's just kind of smiling, and it's borderline inappropriate when he's discussing how horribly he's treating her, but he's just unaware. So a part of me kind of thought, oh wow, I wonder if this shock value is intentional. I wonder if us reacting the way that we are, we're just so appalled, is part of the plan. Because yes, the way you are treating her, the way that Sarah is being treated is criminal. I can't imagine a woman would, come on a podcast. She's a smart woman. She would never do this just to air out their dirty laundry. I truly hope that, he takes some time to reflect on the public's response and, gets his shit together. I do believe that this was her last attempt or a cry for help to get him to kind of recognize the errors of his ways before the baby comes.
I know who Sarah Kim was until today, and she started popping up on my feed today. And if you don't know Sarah Kim, she's a content creator who works full-time, provides for her family, and her husband, unfortunately, doesn't help around the home, doesn't bring the same type of income. He's a pastor and doesn't have a stable income, basically. And he's making her walk to the train station while they have a family car, and she's pregnant. So it's very frustrating to see her be treated like that, especially when she has an amazing dad. And a lot of people are wondering why she's allowing that type of treatment when she grew up with a dad that has gone above and beyond. He knew that it was raining, so he picked her up so she didn't have to walk in the rain while her husband was at home, who could have taken her to the train. And he was there when she was back home and took her back home from the train. So people are wondering, like, how could she accept that type of behavior? And I also have a dad like Sarah, and I also have had partners that weren't doing their part, that weren't providing, and I was the one that paid for everything, that took care of everything, that did all the emotional work, that built them up. And by the end of it, I was completely drained of my energy, of my funds. And I keep asking myself, like, why would I accept that type of partner when I have an amazing dad that has always provided for me and doesn't allow me to pay for anything while I'm with him. And I don't know. I'm going to be 37 this year, and I'm so amazed that I've dealt with these type of guys in my life. And it's one of my things that I want to really improve in my life, because I can't imagine being with somebody that doesn't treat me like how my dad treats me. And I don't think my dad would accept our partner who doesn't treat me like he does.
This is why you cannot idolize relationships on the internet, because if you haven't seen already, obviously my whole For You page is about Sarah and Andrew. And if you haven't followed them or you don't know who they are, it's about this couple who I followed them a long time ago. I just love watching like her videos and stuff like that. I still do. I love like all of Mama Kimchi. Like because of her, I started eating kimchi, and I love it. Like, it's just so delicious. But honestly, like, as a mom of two and someone who owns my own business and I work and all the things, it is so, as a woman, like, women are just built different, right? We could handle stress. I mean, our bodies are built to have children, and like, men are just different. But like, one thing that I can say is that it doesn't matter. A man should always provide. And like, even like for myself, for example, like, I make really good money in my business, and my husband makes good money, right? I could say that I do make more than him, but he still brings in an income. We both bring it in together, and we are able to live a beautiful life. Now, when the income falls, especially like if you're a woman and you're the breadwinner, and you know, you have to commute to work, you're pregnant, like, and you are the one that pays the bills, it will, if it hasn't already, it will take a toll on the relationship. Like, it will. Especially if like your significant other isn't working, and if they're just at home like playing video games. Like, I don't know. And this is what I always say: do not idolize other people's relationships, because you never know what goes down behind closed doors. Clearly they're airing out their dirty laundry with the podcast and stuff like that, and if that's what they want to do, I mean, good for them. Maybe it's a cry for help for her. Maybe she just wants to let the people know, like, maybe so he could really understand like the gravity of like the situation. Maybe he's not taking it seriously. I don't know. Do I think that they should handle this in private and probably see a therapist? Absolutely, because you're going to get so many opinions from so many different people. But in my opinion, I do think that he is in the wrong in so many ways, because as a woman, you always want to feel secure that your husband could provide for you and take care of you. And I just don't think that's the case with her.
I took this past week to unplug because my top priority is to protect the peace and the health of my family. But I'm aware of the situation, and I know that many of you come from a place of care, and so just wanted to take the opportunity to clarify some things. Andrew and I, from the very beginning, we have committed to being there for each other and supporting each other through anything and everything. And so even in the beginning of our marriage, I've had long periods of time where I didn't have a job, whether that was because I had quit a job or been impacted by mass layoffs, and Andrew was the one who had fully supported us through that. And so in the season where Andrew's in between jobs, I am more than happy to stand by him. And even through this transition, he did everything that he could to make sure that we're taken care of, whether that's from picking up part-time jobs, freelance gigs, helping me with all the back end of my social media platforms, and along with finishing his master's. And right now he's working a full-time job that he very much loves, which I love for him. And it's already come with so many blessings. And the biggest one being us being able to move into this house where we get to start our new family. About the joke that he told before starting his sermon, I want everyone to know that we have so much care and respect for one another, and especially because we both have public-facing platforms. For me, it'd be online, and then for him, it's the church. We have a system that we set in place quite some time ago where we will always run things by each other, especially if we're going to be talking about each other or showing each other. And Andrew simply would never say anything that I wouldn't already be aware of or something that I wouldn't like. The more important thing I want to talk about here are the painful stories that many of you have been sharing regarding your hurt and pain that have been caused by abusive church cultures and church leaders. And I want to take a moment to honor that because it's so real, and it particularly breaks Andrew and my heart because we carry similar experiences of our own, and it's taken so much time for us to heal and process, and we're still going through that healing. And we're grateful to have found a church where we feel safe enough to at least continue that healing.
Okay, so we've seen what exactly happened. I would love to hear your own opinion about what's going on between Sarah and her husband, Andrew. Do you think that the husband needs to step up, or do you think that Sarah is the one that's enabled him that he can relax and not put in any effort? I would love to hear your own thoughts, so please leave your comments in the comment section. Now, she's pregnant, and I don't think a lot of triggering things, a lot of negative things would be nice or good for her, because definitely at this point in time, her hormones are going up and down. She is carrying a baby. Mental health might not be that on point because of the hormones and the fact that she is preparing to give birth. So I'm going to try not to say too many negative things about her and their relationship, but I have to point out some things that I thought were a little bit weird. Now, I understand he's a pastor, so I don't know, maybe he's only doing the pastoral work, but for people to be saying that he's always on the computer, he's always playing games, PS5 and the rest, and I'm wondering how a full-time pastor is always doing that. I know pastors who have different things that they are doing in church. He's preparing the sermon, he's also coordinating or in charge of the pastoral council or something, or maybe he's also checking on the youth pastor, youth ministry, and also the technical ministry and all the ministries in the church. So I don't know how he has time to be playing games 24/7 or for a long time. Now, maybe he's not like the head pastor, maybe he's just like maybe the youth pastor, or maybe one of the secondary pastor, I don't know. But I don't know how he's having time to be playing games when he's supposed to be learning about the Lord. Is supposed to be in the communion with the Lord most of the time. At least I will feel that that's what the pastor is supposed to be doing if he's not doing any other thing, because I know that some pastors have jobs as well as their pastoral work and pastoral ministry, but I don't see how he's playing it. I really hope people are wrong about that, because it's not a good look for a pastor, in my own opinion. Now, the thing that shocked me was the fact that his wife is doing a 9 to 5. She's also creating content and earning money from the content. Now they're doing a podcast, probably would be earning money. So she's juggling a lot of things, and she's pregnant. And you cannot do anything in the house, allegedly. He's not doing anything in the house. He's not even walking her to the train. Okay, maybe the car is not working or something is happening to the car. If she's walking to the train, what happened to you following her, escorting her? Let me use that word, escorting her to the train. And when she's coming back, waiting for her at the train station, it was her father that went to go and pick her. That is just terrible. It was the father that went to pick her up. It was the father that went to drop her off. You are in the house, you're not doing anything. I really, really hope he was not in the house, or he's not in the house where she's going. Maybe he's in church. I will just use that. Maybe he's in church. Maybe they are doing vigil in church. Because if you are in the house, your wife is going out, you have a car, you are in the house. Even if the car is not working, what happened to following her? What happened to accompanying her? Except they have another child. I don't know about that one. I do not check if they have 2 children. But if they have another child, okay, maybe he cannot follow her because of the other child. Maybe he has to take the other child to school. But if they don't have another child, what stops him from following her? What stops him from dropping her? I don't get it. Then they're also saying he doesn't do anything in the house, and he's allegedly not bringing in income. I don't understand. I'm hoping that he's not bringing enough, but he's bringing something. Except, I don't know what church he's going to. I don't know if he's being paid for being a pastor, because I know some churches, they pay their pastors, but it's just minimum allowance, so it might not even be anything. That's the truth. It might not be anything, because some churches expect that their pastors should also be doing other things, not just be expecting salary from the church. Now there are some churches, like I believe Anglican, they pay their priests, they pay their canon and the venerable and the curate, they pay them certain amount of money, and also the church, because they always have parish council. It's called PCC, I think it's parish council, and the money that is brought in, offering and the rest, part of it is used to pay the priest, and also people give priests gifts and things, so they still get income, and then their wives are working and the rest. But some of the priests also, they are working and doing other things. So it's not just that they are relying on the church. But I don't know how it is with the Korean American church and the church that he's attending or he's a pastor in. I don't know if they are paying him any money, because if they are not paying him enough and he has time to be playing games and the rest, he has time to get a work from home job that will also be adding to the income. Now, you're not doing house chores allegedly, because I don't know. You're not doing house chores allegedly. You're not bringing in enough income that your wife is not feeling like she's stressed by going out to make money, by working to make money. And someone was saying that he's laughing. I don't know whether that was nervous laughter, or he just does not know the severity of what she's talking about, or maybe he has never seen it in that light. Now, people are hoping that from the comments that people are making, he might have a reset, he might have a rethink, and it might trigger him to do better. I'm hoping it will trigger him to do better, but I'm just hoping that some of the negative comments that people might have left will not affect Sarah, and I really don't want that, because that could lead to complication for her, and I really, 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 really don't want that for her. She's pregnant. I wish her an uneventful pregnancy, safe delivery, and even a safe postpartum period after she has given birth. I really don't want the public perception to make her stressed, but I want the husband to have a brain reset, because he cannot be doing that. He cannot be doing that if everything that is being said about him is true. It's ridiculous. Like, what do you mean you did not buy her a wedding ring, but you bought yourself a PlayStation or whatever he was using to play game immediately after they got married? What the heck? You're grown. Even if you're not up to 30, you're grown. You should have more sense than that. You're not 17, you're not 18. Okay. So I really hope this whole discussion, this whole conversation would be able to guilt him or shame him into being a better husband, because it's not nice if he's not helping out in any which way form. Even if he cannot earn more money or something, he should be able to do things to help her. For goodness sake, what do you mean she's walking to the train station alone? That part just made me feel very sad. Anyway, I said I'm not going to really focus on Sarah, so I am not saying anything about her thought process, why she's in the marriage. I don't want to say anything. I'm just focusing on the husband, hoping that this whole conversation, this whole discussion that people are having would trigger him into being a better husband, and their marriage will be better for it. Anyway, I don't know what you guys think about this whole situation. I would love to hear your own opinion. Do you think that Andrew has to step up his game and be the man of the house, the head of the house, and help his wife in everything that she's doing to make sure that their house is running? Or do you think that what he's doing is okay and it's none of our business, is their life and they know how the dynamics works for them? I would love to hear your own thoughts, so please leave your comment in the comment section so that we can get this discussion popping. Now, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are not yet subscribed and you like videos such as this, please consider subscribing by clicking on the red button that says subscribe, and don't forget to click on the bell notification icon by the side so that you're notified anytime I upload videos. Now, with all that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.